Where you at physically with some of the guys? Anybody coming back?
Yeah, I'd say if we were practicing today, everybody would practice. Dory wouldn't practice today again, and Drew wouldn't practice today. Everybody else would practice.
Any chance for IR for either one of those guys?
I don't think so, but we'll see. I don't think so.
But not looking good for Thursday for them.
We'll see. Yeah, go all the way to the end like we normally do.
So you sound optimistic that McLeod would be available?
Yeah, I mean we're not doing physical activity, but that's my hope.
Where are you at with that cornerback position at this point? With who's gonna play?
Yeah, we got a couple more days. We'll see where everybody's at tomorrow night, Thursday morning.
DeAndre has not gone into the slot very much. Do you have confidence that he could do it if that's what it's called for on Thursday night?
Yeah, if that's what we thought was best to do game plan wise. Tough opponent, really good player. CD, they got a lot of good players. So we've been burning it pretty good here.
Brian, the injuries aside, do you think it's easier? You have we talked about having a very young team. Do they just bounce back or better than on a short week physically?
No, I think it's always difficult for these guys on a short week. The routine, but again, you gotta play them, when they're called upon. So we're doing the best we can. Our walkthroughs, extra meetings, extra walkthroughs. We'll do a little bit of a jog through here today, but you got to put everything you got into it.
Where are you at? Sorry.
The Cowboys' success against the Giants in the last 6-7 years has really been marked by both sides of the line of scrimmage, the trenches. How much better do you think you guys are today on both sides of the line of scrimmage than you were even last year?
Yeah, I would just say that our guys are doing everything they can do to get ready to play a good team, and the only thing that matters is this game.
When you're building a team, though, are you building it? Obviously, you're hand in hand with Joe in the offseason on building a team. Are you building it with the strengths of your divisional opponents in mind?
Yeah, you certainly look at that, but you try to do the best job you can of building the team that you think gives you the best chance for that particular season or year or game.
You didn't commit to Greg one way or the other yesterday as the kicker for Thursday night. Where are you at with that situation?
Yeah, it's going to be Greg. So.
Dave, you went into last week talking about Garrett and how much of a guy you have to identify right before it. I assume Parsons falls in that class, if not right, very close.
Yeah, dynamic player. He's lined up in a variety of spots. He has the ability to play really any position. Explosive, athletic, tough. He's a hell of a football player. He's one of the better players in the league. Challenge the block.
I would assume if you just look at the numbers, it would be just run the ball against them, but I assume it's not that simple.
Yeah, I think this is unique. It's, there's 3 games in. You got 3 games to look at. You can go back to Minnesota with Coach Zimmer, but all 3 of those kind of took on a life of its own. The Cleveland game was kind of touch and go there for a while until the end of the second quarter, the early part of the third quarter. Then they get up, so you call games differently based on how things are going in the game. New Orleans got off to a fast start. It was up 35-13 or whatever it was at the half, and the same thing with Baltimore. The unique thing is, in the fourth quarter, they scored a bunch of points there to make it a game, 28-25, and Baltimore hit a couple third down conversions, a big one, the Flowers over there. So each of them are a little bit different. When you're up that much or down that much, you look at tendencies and things like that. But as the game goes, play callers call things differently based on situation or situations you're in, down and distances, score. So those numbers are those numbers, but I think the games are all different, and you evaluate how they call it.
You talk a lot about how much Singletary's like a reliable guy. At what point do the fumbles kind of chip away at that?
Yeah, we got to do a better job of taking care of the football, and he knows that, and he will.
What do you think of your tight ends play?
I think it's been good. Yeah, again, we play a certain style each week. Their job is to do a good job in the run game. We've had some, I think Dan alluded to it last week, in terms of them staying in for protection, so they're doing a good job with that. I think it's a tough group. I'm pleased with them.
How is Theo coming along?
Good. Yeah.
Why did you worked out 4 tight ends yesterday? What were you looking for?
Yeah, again, that's the normal procedure during the year. We'll see. Cager will probably be down here on IR, so we need some more guys to come in for legs. Show team, the tight ends play quite a bit of football, physical. We've used a lot of multiple tight end groupings, so for look teams and show teams down the road, you think you need some legs.
Can you speak at all to the adjustment that a tight end goes through from the college to pros? It seems like that it's rare for a rookie tight end to come in and just go off.
Yeah, it's a difficult position to play. I think Theo's done a great job. Tim Kelly's really done a great job with him. Based on how they come out of the college, the things they see, they're involved in so many aspects of the game. Having coached, you never have enough individual time with the tight ends because they got to be in tune with the line, they got to be in tune with the passing game, the protections. There's a lot of things to cover in that room. I'm not saying it's like the quarterback room, but there's a lot of there's so much to cover, and they kind of get drug in different areas. Protection meeting here, run game meeting here, pass game meeting here, and then you're like, man, I got 10 minutes of individual time. So they do a good job. They meet early. He's a smart young man. He's done a nice job.
Dave, you've shown a willingness to play younger players, to play rookies, have them come in. I mean, you got a bunch of guys playing this year.
Yeah, Joe told me the most in the league right now.
Oh, did not know that. But thanks
percentage-wise.
Appreciate the homework. But in terms of being selective, how selective are you as a coaching staff, or you personally, to know what a guy can handle, and can a guy handle making mistakes? Some guys make mistakes, put their heads down and walk away. Some guys are able to just plow through. How do you?
I think that's based on the individual player. I don't think it's just rookies. I mean, it could be a 5-year. You have to know the player and understand kind of what makes them tick and what doesn't. For young players, they're going to make mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes. But young players, that's why you play them, because you think they have good talent. They're going to go through some growing pains here and there. But you can learn from them, learning from the things that show up. And then as the season goes on, you see improvement from those young players. And I'd say I have confidence in all our young guys, all our rookies. I think they have the right DNA. They work hard. They're smart. They care about football. They're good teammates. It's important to them. And then you have good veterans in the room that help them along the way. So they've all been through it, the veterans, and the right mindset for our young players is important. The type of people we bring in is important to us. And I've been impressed with all of them, how they've handled things, good or bad.
Brian, the last time you played a home game, your fans were, made their displeasure known. What do you say to your fan base entering this game?
Yeah, I'd say they were. Yeah, no. Again, I would just say that over the last 2 games on the road too, been outstanding support on the road. At Washington, it was outstanding. At Cleveland, there was a lot of people. So, again, our job is to go out there and play and perform well, and love our fans, and hopefully give them something to cheer about.
Just back to the secondary real quick.
Yeah.
He's been in the league. He's a veteran.
Yeah.
What are you doing to eradicate or get somebody out of that mode where they have to take care of the ball better?
No, he knows that. He's a pro. Yeah. He'll work on that. I've been around him a bunch, so again, you can't let 1 bad or 2 bad plays define a lot of the good things. So you keep working on your ball security, and he'll do that.